Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to go over my latest power rankings for the number 24 pick for the Dallas Cowboys. If you missed my first one, I'll have the link in the description or at the end of the video. The series, off of this, Cowboy time. D for defense. All right. All right, guys. So I'm going to open it up. My top 7 for the number 24 pick. Let's get into the list. Here we go. First off, to open it up, another tight end. Last time I had Jeremy Ruckert. This year, Trey McBride, tight end out of Colorado State. Thought he had a very impressive Senior Bowl. Very impressive indeed. I already knew he was in the mix for one of the tight ends to go in the first round, whether it's McBride, Ruckert, Jalen Weidemeyer. You know, there's really a lot of tight ends in that conversation as far as who's tight end one and who might, get selected in this first round. So, opening it up here with the new tight end here, Trey McBride. I love the way he played in the Senior Bowl and some of the games I've seen of him. A complete tight end, all right. Can block really well, can catch really well, can get down the field. He's he's kind of like this new mold of a tight end, you know what I mean? So good size, good power. So he moves into the list here. Number 7, Trey McBride. Okay, let's go to the next one. At number 6, Boye Maffia, all right, edge rusher out of Minnesota. Another one of these Senior Bowl types that came onto the scene here and just had an all-out game. You go back and you go look at some of his games during the season there in the Big Ten, going up against some of these, bigger tackles, guards in the Big Ten. It's you're able to get sacks in that conference. You got to pay attention, right? So pretty good numbers, and I think that you put him in the right system, the right team, he could be something for you. Okay, so Boye Mafe, to me, Boye Mafe, I think is more of a second, but I think he's done enough to sneak into the back end of this first round. That's why I have him here as a potential pick for the Cowboys moving into my power rankings here. At the number 6 position, Boye Mafe. Go check him out if you haven't already. Okay, let's go on to the number 5 on my power rankings. A new addition here, Daxton Hill, the DB out of Michigan. Okay, so more of a safety, has a lot of speed, and I think that's where the Cowboys really want to stay on point with this defense, is to keep the speed coming. You got to keep up with this NFL, with a lot of these speed pass catchers. You got tight ends that are running faster. You got receivers running faster. So you got to keep up. You can't field a slow or average defense anymore. All right, so you got to offset that with your own firepower. I like the program there with Michigan with their DBs. I think they've done a pretty good job over the years in fielding talent into the NFL. Last year, I talked about a sleeper pick, Ambry Thomas. He ended up going to San Francisco and then ended up being a pretty good player. This year, my Michigan guy's going to be Daxton Hill. Okay, so keep an eye on him. You can play him at the safety position. You can play him at nickel. Can cover, can tackle, can give you some run support. So Daxton Hill, my number 5. Okay, let's go to my number 4 prospect, Jaquan brisker. Staying in position. Had him number 4 last time. Still here, entrenched at number 4 as my number 2 safety in this NFL. Okay, Jaquan brisker out of Penn State. I think he's one of these tone setter types. You want a tone setter in the secondary. I think Jaquan brisker is this type of guy. Has good speed as well. Like I said, you want that. Can cover, can play in the box, get dirty in the run support. Former teammate of Michael Parsons, obviously, so he knows him very well and what he can bring to that back half of the defense. Okay, so Jaquan brisker, can't say enough about him. Check him out if you haven't already. He remains number 4 on my list. Okay, let's go to number 3. Trevor Penny, offensive tackle, Northern Iowa. Another one of these tackles that's, is gaining momentum. I think a solid performance at the Senior Bowl. I think he earned some money. So he moves into that, I think, the back half there. Somebody may fall in love with him and take him earlier. Tackles are a premium position. A mauler, he'll get after you. He'll finish the play. Now, where I see him getting beat is sometimes with his leverage and his set Sometimes he sets a little bit too high, and you know, these edge guys, they get underneath his pads and they can throw him off balance and discard him. Okay, and I saw a little bit of that in the Senior Bowl practices. I think that's more coaching, and I think you can coach that into this player. And once you get that, I mean, you're looking at a really solid tackle. I don't see him as a guard. I know some people think that he may be a guard, but his measurables, they scream, you know, tackle, left tackle especially. And what do you know? You know, I think we need a left tackle. You know, I don't know how much longer they're gonna run the tires off of Tyron Smith. Me personally, I hate having the instability there. I'm just ready to move on, man. I know he's great when he's on the field, and I don't even think he's great at this point. He's good, right? He's good at this point, but you just can't count on him. And then you have the, you know, the continuity. Mike McCarthy said this several times in his final meeting about continuity, and I think he's really low key talking about these guys that are unreliable. You know, guys that are in and out the lineup. Okay, so give me a tackle if whether it's Trevor Penny or if they like Josh Ball, which I've heard, you know, good things about Josh Ball. I've heard really good things there, so don't sleep on him. All right, but Trevor Penny, check him out. If he's there, 24th pick could be a possibility there at tackle. All right, let's go to my number 2. Zion Johnson makes the list for the first time. Didn't have him in my first one. Shoots up to number 2 because while I like tackle, like I said, I think these Cowboys are so stubborn. They are literally gonna you know, roll with Tyron and just completely, you know, get whatever they can out of him, even if he's in and out the lineup, which is stupid to me. But I think that's what they're gonna do. That being said, you can't do that with guard because you don't have guards on this team that can really fill that. McGovern, we saw a pretty good amount of tape from him. He's not that, man. I think McGovern has really siloed himself into a backup role at this point, which is okay. But that blinking light, probably more of a warning light in Jason Garrett. All right. So that blinking light that Garrett talked about, McGovern, probably a warning light. All right. Guessed wrong on that one there, but that's okay. Zion Johnson will fill that role. My only concern is the height, 6'2". Now, we're going to get the confirmation here at the Combine. He's one of the invites, you know. Is he 6? I'd rather him be taller than 6'2" at the guard position. That's a little small for me. So that's why I have him here at number 2. Does that come into play there? And that's why I have Zion Johnson as a guard here with the Cowboys. But, you know, stiff, stout, plays with leverage, a good base, an upgrade. Okay, and that's what you need. Let's go to my number 1 prospect. Jermaine Johnson, same as last time. Still have him high on this list here for pass rusher until we get some more names here, until we get some more whispers. You know, I think you gotta consider an edge rusher here. Mike and I did a mock draft here last week where we kind of did a you know, we picked different players. And to me, this draft for the Cowboys is tailor-made for a 2014 type of draft where you take Zach Martin and then you take D-Law. I think this year, you know, get either vice versa. Maybe you take an edge here in the first, guard, offensive line in the second, or vice versa. Maybe they go offensive line again in the first round, edge in the second. Edge is a need, you know what I mean? And just it's a need because you have free agents leaving and you're getting older there. You know what I mean? So that's why Jermaine Johnson is on my list and very high. The production's there, and he may not be here by the time we get closer. Let's see how he tests at the Combine. If those numbers check out, he's going to be out of our range. And don't believe the hype that this is not a first-round player. Jermaine Johnson's a first-round player. This is an Anthony Spencer type of guy. When Anthony Spencer got drafted, I think it was like number 23, somewhere around this range, I want to say. In the 20s, we drafted him. Got a lot of people off guard, but Cowboys saw him as a first-rounder, and he was pretty productive, a little bit injury prone for my liking, but Anthony Spencer played a role on this team as a edge rusher. He earned himself some franchise tag contract. So Jermaine Johnson, I think, is in this level where he could pop up in the first. Same with Boye Maffia. I think, like I said, these edge rushers, it's not a loaded class with edge rushers. I think once you get out of that first round, you're looking at guys that could be, starters, but you're not 100% sure. So, first round, you have some good talent here. Once you get to that second round, and definitely the third round, the edge rushers, they're gone. I mean, they're legitimately gone. That's why I think this is just like 2014. Cowboys knew that D-Law was one of the final, true edge rushers in that class, that had the bend, they could give you the rush. They traded up to grab him, right? They made that trade with Washington to move up. So, I think they're in the similar striking zone for one of these final edge rushers. Talking about here at the number 24 pick. If you think he's not going to make it to that number 56 pick in the second round, you pull the trigger and you take him there at the end of the first round, or maybe you even move down a little bit. Like, there's going to be some trade partners here, especially if some of these quarterbacks drop a little bit, which might be what you want in this draft. Not so much that they go high, but maybe ones that start to fall a little bit. And then you have some of these ones on the back of the second round, the early second round that maybe want to go up there, right? Because there's going to be some teams there at the end of the first, early second that may be looking at quarterbacks. So if one starts falling, they may want to leapfrog and go back up there to 24 where we're at. So we're in the prime zone, bros. But that's my updated power rankings for the number 24 pick. Guys, let me know who you like at the number 24 pick for the Cowboys. Give me your list of names. Have they changed? Have they updated? Let me know, guys. Continue to like, subscribe, and share. Catch you for the next one. Peace.